short teaser.
So we want to wrap up. We wrap up all of our interviews with a segment called Controlled Rowdiness. So in such a segment, we're going to ask you some rapid fire questions, and you just come up with the thing that comes to the top of your head, the best first answer you can come up with. And the first, as I'll get the segment started, is how many elevators are currently working at your abode right now?
There are 3 elevators in the building, and all of them are functioning.
Hey, wow.
Yeah, it's a good day around here.
Well, that's good news. We've been keeping up with your Facebook posts, and that hasn't been the case very often, it doesn't seem like.
Favorite and least favorite guest that you've had?
Favorite and least favorite guest on the podcast or on the show?
Your choice. Probably a show because it's been around longer, but whatever you'd like.
Gosh, I always loved Darren Woodson when we had him on, for sure. He was always great to talk football with. He would be a favorite. I always liked Rusty Greer. We did a weekly show with him for many years. He was always a great guest. I don't know. I always liked guys who could break the sport down to the next level, who could get a level higher and tell me something I didn't know. We had a lot of those over here. As far as least favorite, I don't know. I never liked just any that we couldn't get anything out of, any that we couldn't connect with. Sometimes guys would come in drunk or loaded or something. I didn't like that too much.
Yeah.
But sometimes guys would show up for the interview and it'd be obvious that they didn't want to do it.
There's one interview in particular that I remember you ended and said, you seem like you're just about as interested in this as we are, and then just cut that was Kenny Lofton?
That was Kenny Lofton, yeah. When he was with the Rangers. We interviewed him out in spring training, and he was not into it.
So that was it.
I'd been told that. I'd been told that, look, you're not going to like him too much. Not a real good interview.
Yeah. So that was in person?
What?
That was in person?
No, he was on the phone with us. It was in spring training, but he was at the hotel or wherever those guys are, the place where he stayed, and we were there at the ballpark still.
And you had to say, okay, that's it.
Yeah, just be done.
Was it my impression of a Norm drop?
So,
terrible impression.
What piece of band equipment have you sold or traded that you wish you had back?
Yeah. I hate this question because I've got too many.
Piece of band equipment that I've sold or traded that I wish I had back.
Yeah, guitars, a drum set.
Yeah, I know what it is. I used to have a cherry red Les Paul Standard.
That sounds just like my story.
Yeah. That I wish I had back. I traded it for a Strat. I wish I had.
Not a maybe a Telecaster.
Wow.
No, Strat. It was a Strat.
Yeah.
When was this?
This was probably 6-7 years ago.
How old was that? Was it a newer Les Paul Standard or was it an older one?
It was a newer one. It wasn't.
Yeah, still fantastic guitars.
Yeah, great. It was a great guitar.
I've got several too that are painful when I think about it. Who would win in a foot race, George Dunham or Caitlyn Jenner?
I'll give that to the big man.
All right.
Okay.
Caitlyn would probably be wanting to run in high heels.
Yes.
I'm
sure.
This is true.
The heels don't come off.
Which ticket drop did you hate the most when you were on the air?
Michael? I was by that at first, but it drove me crazy after a while.
Once and for all, who killed JFK?
We don't know.
We don't know.
We know who didn't, or I know who didn't.
Once and for all, who did not kill JFK?
I don't think it was Lee Harvey.
Yeah.
Or if it was, he was part of a conspiracy.
So Gordon got to you, huh?
No, he didn't get to me. We were at complete opposites on this.
Yeah.
He thinks Lee Harvey acted alone.
Yeah. He thinks it for sure happened. Yeah.
He thinks that Lee Harvey acted alone. I don't think he did.
Yeah.
Best and worst Rangers of all time.
Best and worst Rangers of all time. Oh, let's see. God, there have been a lot of really, really bad ones. Back in the early days, they used to have a guy who was kind of their big home run hitter on the 72 Rangers, which were a terrible, terrible team, named Ted Ford.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he was the leading home run hitter that they had that year with something like 14 or 12 or somewhere like that.
Oh, wow.
But he was completely useless in any other way.
Oof. See, I thought for sure it was going to be A-Rod or Josh Hamilton. But
No.
A-Rod came to my mind just because how much I disliked him. Mm-hmm. Not that he's a bad baseball player.
I disliked A-Rod too, but A-Rod's a really good baseball player.
Yeah.
So best all-time Ranger, who is it?
Can we delineate between when he was into it and when he wasn't?
Yes.
Okay. When he was into it, there was nothing like Josh Hamilton.
Yep.
We talked about this earlier today too.
Yeah.
There was nothing.
Yeah, he was
like
a monster.
That. You have not seen a baseball player like that. And the closer you observed him from, and as far as physical space goes, the more you saw that. I mean, the more you could feel the power of his swing, the way he ran, his presence, his size. Mm-hmm. I mean, there was nothing like that guy.
His tattoos.
Yeah, his tattoos.
The
edge.
Yeah.
Is it?
But when he was not into it, there was nobody more useless.
Is it fair to say that Joshua Sherlock's was great? Post Sherlock's problematic.
I don't know. I don't look at Sherlock's as a dividing line because he was not into it before then.
Yeah. Do you think it was the second World Series loss?
In the 2011 World Series, he was not into it at all. In the 2011 World Series, it seemed to me like all he wanted to do was get the at-bat over with.
Yeah.
And it was that way for much of that season, too. But when he was into it, like he was in 2010, 2009, some of the years leading up to that, man, we have not seen the likes of that. And I don't know when we will again.
Very fair. That was my thought, too, is he was a monster when he was up. What will happen first? The Cowboys winning another Super Bowl or Trump winning another presidency?
I hope.
That's a great way to start.
I hope it's the Cowboys winning another Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Because we can't stand 4 more years of that.
All right. Last question. Can you finish this statement? November 22nd, 1963 was the day that JFK...
It was finally the day that Kennedy got it through his head that we didn't like him in Dallas.
Okay, one last PS question.
What you wanted?
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted.
We both remembered hearing that live.
Because that is anytime we're down in the Dallas area, that is the one thing that my mom and my wife hate is we'll cross over that X on Elm Street. And I'm like, you know where we are right now? We're at the exact spot that and the radio will get turned up. I'll get shouted down, threatened to get pushed out of the car.
Ew.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Okay, last question. Unless he's got one more last one.
No.
Are you ready to confirm the rumors?
Oh yeah.
That you and Grego are working on a project?
No, I'm not ready to confirm it.
Okay. All right.
Oh, we were so
there
close.
You go.
So close.
Well, I hate my.